biohacking, performance, mastery, mindset, holistic health. This is a show about getting better every single day. I'm on a mission, guys, to help over 1 million people get healthy and lose weight. Why? Because when you lose weight and get healthy, you have higher self-esteem. You have more self-confidence. And that person goes out and crushes their goal and starts living the highest version of themselves, and then they have way more impact on the world. Let's go. What's up, guys? Happy Monday. Super excited to be alive. Super excited to be here on another live Mindset and Motivation Monday. I'm fired up. I just got back from a doTERRA retreat and just connecting with a lot of health-minded practitioners who really want to make a difference. And they align with my vision, which is to put a health coach pretty much in every home in the world. When you understand health and you have so much more confidence, you can just leave the legacy of health with everybody in your family, your tribe, your neighborhood. You know, when you think about it, I talked about this a lot, but that's one of my non-negotiables is health, because when you're healthy, you have as many wishes as you want. When you're sick, you only have one wish, and that is to be healthy. Everybody knows that. Ask Steve Jobs. He had everything in the world, but if he could have had one thing, it would have been to be healthy. And so I'm on a mission to do that, and I'm just super excited to be aligned with other people that are also aligned in my vision and how we can make that happen. So without further ado, let's get into another Mindset and Motivation Monday. Today, I want to talk about vision and why it's so important. Some of the key things we're going to talk about today is obviously why vision, like why does it matter? Why do we need to have a clear vision? I'm going to kind of talk about the steps there. 4 things that having a vision does. So I'm going to talk about the 4 things that it does, and then I'm going to give you the 3-step process to creating your vision for the future so that you can manifest that, you can create that. If you don't like the word manifest, I don't know, replace it with something else. Replace it with create or make happen. I don't know, but that's just the word I chose, manifest. So we're going to go into that and why having a vision is so important, especially if people, they got these big dreams, they got these big goals. Most of my clients are mission driven, they're purpose driven, and they want to take on the world and create and really make a big dent in the world. And you can't do that without a clear vision. Even if it's just something simple, like, hey, I want to lose 20 pounds. All the time I see people and their vision is like, it's weak. Think about that. Of course, why do we have New Year's syndrome? Why do people come in and they hit the gym January? They're crushing the month of January. But then February, when you're in the gym, all those people that were diehard and were telling you they were going to crush it, they were going to lose all this weight. By February, they're all gone. The gym is empty. Why? Because their vision was weak. They didn't have a big enough why. They weren't connected to that vision enough to magnetize and pull them in even when the chips are down. So that's the key. And having a big vision is important if you want to create change in the world and you're mission driven and you have a big goal. So let's get into that, how to do it. Number 1 is you need to be unattached to the how. You need to be unattached to the how, and you need to focus instead on the what and the why. What do I mean by that? Well, I had a vision at one time to be a fighter and like be in the MMA and actually fight. And I did martial arts for a long time. And, I would practice visualization and I would envision myself in martial arts tournaments, just being at the tournament and doing well. But you know what I didn't really ever manifest? I never thought about what it was going to look like afterwards. My visualizations were weak. And so I would lose matches. I wouldn't get very far. Even looking at where my podcast has gone, I have a visualization right now because I'm much more keen on visualization. I have a visualization of what I'm going to deliver, and my why is so powerful because I want to make everybody in the world 1% better. And if I can do that, that's going to compound. You're going to make other people better, and it's going to reciprocate. So I'm hell bent on that. My why, my what, I'm very clear on. And that has led me, how it's happening, I don't know. But I've been able to meet and connect with all these amazing influencers, which is a terrible word, but I've been able to connect with just people that are influential, people that have more influence than me. And I've been able to do that and leverage that through the podcast. And I never thought about that. I didn't like the dream wasn't like, oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to get like tons of money. No, my what and my why has been always focused on delivering good content, connecting with valuable people to deliver valuable information. And in a roundabout way, that's led to my success, which I didn't plan. That part, the how, I never really figured out. But the what and the why, I was very focused on. So that's kind of an example of what you can use on. I was just interviewing an amazing, successful guy. He was the first sports nutritionist in the NBA, and he was hired by the Phoenix Suns. Very similar story. So he knew he wanted to be an athlete. His dream was to be a professional athlete. Never got there. Sorry. It didn't happen for him. He wasn't tall enough, whatever, right? But so he realized that in college, so he focused on nutrition. He focused on health, and he just dove deep into it. He became one of the best, right? And so what happened is Danny Ainge, a guy who was a professional basketballer who worked for the Phoenix Suns, he came to this guy because his name is Douglas D. Grant. Go check him out. He has an amazing brand called Optimal Health Systems. So Danny Ainge came to him because he had liver problems and he just wasn't in good health. Douglas D. Grant gets him better. And so guess what? The CEO, the founder, or the head of the Phoenix Suns says, hey, Douglas, I need you to come work for us. All of a sudden now he's basically in the NBA. He's working with tons of professional sports athletes. He knew his what and his why. He didn't know how he was going to get there. In this roundabout way, he basically is in sports. He's doing what he loves. He is influencing. He's playing at the top of the game with CEOs and professional sports athletes. He never expected that. He focused on the what and the why. His how manifested, right? So that's a great example. Number two, you got to be very clear on what you want. So, it's not only important, and I kind of talked about it, you can't just wish that you're going to see yourself on stage. You got to actually see yourself. Like, imagine if you want to hit the big stage and you want to hit the podium or something. You've got to see yourself walking out with the medal as opposed to being like laid out on a stretcher. You got to be very specific. You got to see yourself accomplishing this goal from like the beginning to the very, very end. And, you got to be thinking like that full step of manifestation. And I mean, again, I would say like I would never even in the past would never even give second thoughts of how I was going to perform or how I'd feel. I would just kind of like how I was going to leave. And they've done studies with visualization, guys, out of the University of Chicago. And it was really cool. They took two groups. They took one group that was just going to shoot free throws for 2 weeks, practice, right? Because practice makes perfect. And they took another group and they said, well, let's just see what happens if you just visualize for 2 weeks that you're making the free throws. And guess what? The group that practiced free throws, they got better by like 20, I think it was 24%. The group that did nothing but visualize, no practicing, never picked up a ball, they just visualized themselves making the shot, they got better by 23%. So there was only a 1% difference, and that was just with visualization. So there's something going on there. There's another great study with a doctor who used imagery technique on 159 patients that had incurable cancer, and they'd been given 12 months to live. And so he put them through this creative visualization process. And guess what? 63 of the patients were alive and well. 42 of them showed no signs of cancer. 12 had cancer in regression and reductions in tumors, and 17 were stable. Their average expected survival rate had doubled to 24 months. How crazy is that? All they did was visualization. How is this possible? Visualization. All right, let's talk about the 4 things that it does, and then I'm going to wrap up with how you can use the 3-step process to create a vision process in your life on a regular basis. The 4 things it does. Number 1 is it's going to activate your creative subconscious, which will generate new plans to help you hit your goals. I've talked a lot about this with the subconscious, the reticular activating system, all things like that. So number 2, you're going to reprogram your brain to be sharper, sensitive to the signs that we're talking about. This is that reticular activating system, right? The reticular activating system is constantly looking for what resources are available. It's constantly filtering out it's a part of your brain that's filtering out parts that's necessary and unnecessary. Think about how much your brain has to process when you're just driving a car. It filters out like 90% of it, because if it had to actually like take in everything, it'd be overwhelmed. But it has to focus on, and that's why I thank God for habits and heuristics, and you just, you can cheat some of these things, but over time. So the reticular activating system, you activate this through your visualization process. It's looking for what resources are available so it can make things happen. Wow, That you want to utilize that part of your brain, hence this imagery or visualization. This is why it's working. Number 3, you're going to build your internal motivation level, right? It's going to build that internal motivation for you to take those active steps to start living in the future self that you desire, which makes sense. Anytime you're externally motivated by something, people always fail. You have to be intrinsically motivated by like, this is what I'm going to do. This is who I am. This is who I want to be. When you motivate yourself based on like, oh, when I get this much money, then I'll be successful. Or when I have a Porsche, then I can call myself successful. When I get to this level, then I'll be. No, you have to be the person that gets those things right now. You can't wait. You can't wait for like, when you get something, when you attain something, because when it doesn't happen, you quit, right? That's why, guess what? My podcast, I've got over 160 episodes. I've been doing it for 3 years. Do you know the average podcast only lasts 7 episodes? Why? Because people are externally motivated. They're like, oh yeah, I'm going to start this podcast and then I'm going to get so many downloads and become an influencer, become famous. And after 7 episodes, they realize nobody cares about them. No one's listening. They're not famous. They didn't get any downloads. So they quit. I'm still here doing it because I'm intrinsically motivated to put a dent in people's lives and change and impact the world forever. I want to leave a legacy that goes on beyond me. That's what I'm motivated by. That's way deeper. Like that kind of motivation will like win a Nobel Prize. Other people, yeah, they're doing it for the wrong reasons. Money, fame, whatever. Number 4, it's going to strengthen your brain's neuroplasticity, aka your ability to create new neural pathways. That's huge, right? More neural pathways, more of your ability. That's going to increase your ability to achieve those dream goals. Neuroplasticity, we know. Look at Alzheimer's. Look at all these diseases that come over time. It's a lack of neuroplasticity. We know that neurons that fire together wire together. So the more you create those pathways, your brain's going to basically build a habit. It's going to encode a habit. Huge. I got 2 minutes left. Let's go. All right. 3-step process. This is what you're going to do to start envisioning your future. First of all, you want to choose your goals for the future. What are they? Traveling around the world, finding the love of your life, buying your dream house, building your own business, healing from an illness, losing weight, whatever it is. Pick what it is. Step number 1. Number 2, you want to put it up on a mental screen. I want you to imagine that there's a giant TV screen in your mind's eye and you're watching everything play out like a movie. Okay? I want you to imagine that this screen is like 6 feet in front of you, 15 degrees above the line of the horizon. Why? They've shown that this is based on, it's called Silva Meditation, and it's shown that Silva's research found that this created the best results. Okay. And so it's been proven that by you actively looking beyond your eyelids with your pupils pointing at this slightly upward direction, your brain begins to produce alpha waves. Okay. These are altered states of consciousness that are exactly what we want to do to be able to access the effects of creative visualization. Huge. Okay. Number 3, I got to wrap it up. Here in a minute. Okay. You want to feel it with all your 5 senses. Why? Because emotion encodes memories. Okay. You want to lose yourself in that creative visualization. You want to see, you want to hear, you want to taste, you want to smell, you want to feel your dreams playing out in that perfection. And when you use all your senses in this creative visualization process, it creates a feeling. Okay. Feelings, thoughts, they become things. The emotions, think of the emotions: joy, gratitude, excitement, peace. Nothing vibrates faster than gratitude. Believe that. Excitement, peace, comfort, enthusiasm, right? If you can capture these emotions, you're going to be a winner. When you experience these emotions, your dreams are going to start to come true with the intention and the emotion behind it. You're going to be priming your brain in a way that it starts to connect with the universe and give you exactly what you want. So I want you to also think about your goals and how your goals are going to positively impact others. How much, I just said, how much would that impact your family's life? So what, you get money. Let's say you get money. How much is that going to impact your family's life? I think about my kids all the time, like what I'll be able to give them, right? The opportunities, the growth, and then the life they're going to lead on to others. Like, how amazing is that? Guys, last thing I want to leave you with, and I posted this on my Instagram today. If your dreams don't scare you, they're too small. All right. That's it. Have an amazing Monday. Let's go. Let's go get it. If you got questions, DM me at Joel Evan Coaching or shoot me an email, info@joelevancoaching. By the way, like this podcast, share this episode with others. Write me a 5-star review. Every review that is left, I donate I donate to other organizations, and I'm a huge believer in giving. And so every time you leave a positive review, I donate to organizations that I am intent on helping. Like right now, I'm working with families in Nicaragua to deliver fresh water, because they in certain regions, like 53%, they're not doing too good. So that's what I'm. That's one of my missions as well. Thanks, guys. Have an amazing Monday. Let's go.